Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about what part of your body you should be hitting with. Okay, we talk about the punches and the kicks and all that, and the elbows and the knees, but when you hit a person, you want to make sure that you're hitting with an amount of force condensed down to the smallest striking surface. Now, that said, let me explain that. If I hit flat-fisted, totally flat, and that's with the whole fist, then part of that will be absorbed because of the space, because of that amount of me that's on there. So what I want to try to do is minimize the striking surface. So I want to hit with the two big knuckles right there in front. Because then if I hit with the two knuckles and just drive that in, that's the same amount of force consolidated down to a smaller surface area. All right, now basic physics tells you that that's better. So if I'm hitting with a vertical fist, then I hit still with the two big knuckles. That way if I do hit like the sternum, like I'm doing here on Bob, then the punch will cause more damage because it's hitting just those two spots with the same amount of force. And that's what we're trying to get here. If you think about it this way, if I hit with my flat hand, okay, that slapped, that looked like that hurt. Well, might have slapped a little bit, but the same amount of force isolated on a finger, or make it a chop so that it's this much. That will cause more damage to the body. All right, now that goes for the hand. We can hit in such a way that we hit with just one little part. So there's a lot of ways to do that. The knuckles is the easiest to see. If I hit vertical fist to the nose, then I'm not hitting with all the rest of the fist. It's just those two knuckles. Now, can we do that with the feet? Yeah. So what we'll do here, I'll talk about if I hit, and I hit with my instep or even my shin, then I get a good hit. It's just that it is being covered over a bigger part of the body, and that will be spread out. Now that's going to cause less actual damage. It'll hurt, and you can knock somebody over, knock them down. If you kick them in the right place, knock the wind out of them. But if I take the same basic kick, so this comes around, roundhouse-like kick, hitting with my instep or my ankle, then I take that same thing and I just change it a little bit, and I hit with the ball of the foot. Now I've focused all of that energy into one small area, and that's going to do a lot more damage. So that's why a training partner like Bob here is a good idea to have at home. You can practice that. You can hit into the body with the ball of the foot. You can come up, you can get to the head, the ball of the foot, and you're going to maximize damage by minimizing the surface area that you hit with. So if I was to do a back knuckle, that's very common in almost every single martial art there is. And I come up and I hit. Well, if I hit with my entire back of my hand, I've just dispersed the energy over a wider surface area. But if I do the same back knuckle, and again I hit with those two big knuckles only, that same amount of force, I'm going to have more damage to the person. And that's what we're looking for. What is self-defense? Somebody's trying to hurt you, and instead you hurt them. So you remember Tiger Claw. We've talked about Tiger Claw and how I want to hit in such a way that I'm hitting the chin with the ball, or the palm heel, and then the ball of the palm will go to the nose, and then the fingers will get in the eyes. Now, that is purposefully just the opposite of what I've been saying. Because I could just do palm heel only, and I get a lot more damage to one area. But if I'm looking for a technique that's going to cause somebody to move back, and get all worried that maybe you broke their face completely, well, then I want to go in with something that's going to hit the chin, the nose, and at least one finger, get them in the eyeball. Now they're worried, oh my God, he blinded me, oh my nose is bleeding, my jaw. So you get a good result from that type of strike. But if I wanted to really damage the person, I could do a chop right to the side of the hinge of the jaw and pop it loose. And now they're over there going, and they can't talk. And they're worried that you just broke their face. So it's a good idea to practice the different types of strikes on something like Bob that gives you that ability so that you can focus the energy of your strike to maximize the damage to the bad guy. Good way to go. So if you want to learn this kind of stuff, focus in on real technique, learn how to actually punch, come on down to Hand-to-Hand Combat Training Center in Hayden, Idaho.